Hi YouTube, my name is Sean Connors and this is DM's Tips, and today I'm going to talk about something that is something I like to do occasionally, and I'm sure each DM does. Teaching your players the occasional lesson. Now, it's very difficult to quantify this, so let me quickly tell you where I'm going with this, and then let me give you some examples, and then hopefully it'll all fall into place. There always comes a time in every group, there's always players that you probably may or may not have, or have had, who always insist on playing the same way in every game and won't change. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know, that's who they are. But you want to teach them some lessons and make them think about it more, but you want to do it in a constructive way and really hit the point home. That is really an art form, to be honest, for a DM. And sometimes you've got to put those lessons in. And let me give you an example of something I've done in the past as an example to tailoring that. Now, we had a player in our group many years ago, one of my favourite players, by the way. So if you're watching Fireball Freddy, you will know who you are. He was very magic hungry as a person. He loved playing wizards and he enjoyed immensely finding magical items. For Fireball Freddy, magical items were everything. If there was the hint, the chance of a magic item, he would throw himself towards it, irrespective of the dangers for him or the other players in the group. Now, as a DM, this became quite problematic because after a period of time, this guy continued throwing his character in. It often caused, ironically enough, as fate will always be, it often caused considerable damage to the other players, or in some cases even death, more so than to Fireball Freddy because of the way he did it. So I decided as a DM that it was time for me to actually come up with something that would teach Fireball Freddy a lesson. But it needed to be fair, and it needed, when players look back, that it wasn't me being, shall we say, vindictive or nasty, but it's something that hopefully would hit the point home to him. So this is what I did, so bear with me. For those who don't know, apologies, please read up about this first. There came a point in one of my games where the characters stumble across a deck of many things. If you don't know much about it, please do a little bit of research. It's a semi-artefact, it's an artefact. It's cards. And I was quite deliberate. I put, because there are 26 cards in the deck of many things, so I put 26 cards together in a box, each card representing from the deck. But in this particular case, as I said to, Fireball Freddy, because I knew what would happen as soon as the players uncovered this item, most of them would say, "No, not for me. No, thank you. I don't want it. I don't want to take any chances. It's not right for me." But knowing Fireball Freddy, of course, I knew that he would. So Fireball Freddy picked a card. Now, red cards are good and black cards are bad, and picked a card. And I said to all the players before that the one thing that was different with this deck of many things was that you could take as many cards as you wanted to, but one at a time, until you gave up or decided enough was enough. And then when the final player had said that, the deck would disappear. So, I think you can see where this is going, but Fireball Freddy said, "Yep, I'm up for it." So he took his first card. Unlucky for him, it was black. And again, all the cards were open, you know, in terms of it was a pack, it had been shuffled, I let him shuffle them. I put it down on the table, so he picked his first card. It was a black one, can't remember the outcome. However, he then had the option, do you want to take another one? Hell yes. So another one. Doing more damage to himself, taking points of his stats, fighting all sorts of creatures. Well, another one. Hell yes. And another one. Hell yes. He went on for 7 cards, and then it suddenly dawned on him. They were all black. And the beauty of this story is that the moral of it really was that this is teaching sometimes players a lesson in a constructive way, but at the same time is going to hit the point home. Fireball Freddy was never quite the same again, but he still had a penchant for magic items. And you know what? That particular story in my groups went down in legend. It was very famous and done many circles, particularly around London. I've heard the story repeated back to me via very unusual resources about, did you hear about this DM who did this? This isn't meant as anything other than just to illustrate the point that we all have players in our groups and occasionally we want to teach them a lesson. And you know what? Sometimes you have to. But you know what? The funny thing is, they probably still won't learn from it. But it could be something that's one of the best things that you ever did. Anyway, this has been DM's Tips. Until next time, take care and happy gaming.